I wonder if I show. Yo, what's up? Hanging out live on the YouTubes. I was gonna edit another video tonight, but I'm feeling a little bit unmotivated. So I thought it'd be fun to just hang out and chat with you guys for a while, and maybe answer any questions if you had any, and just chill out for a bit, you know. How am I? I'm doing great. I was supposed to go skiing tomorrow. If I have all my skiing gear set out, and apparently the roads are too bad, and so the group I was going to go skiing with, we're not going. Okay, there's a lot of questions now. Oh my goodness. What's up? Just watch your new computer unboxing video. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's an interesting video because the truth is I'm really excited for the computer, but I'm trying to just be honest that it's just a material thing, and I'm trying to have a balanced perspective on it because it costs a lot of money, and that means it better deliver on what its promise is. So I tried to not come across too much as Apple fanboy, because I really don't feel like an Apple fanboy anymore, although I would have said I was previously. Yeah, anyhow. Great to see all you guys. Devin, Bobby, Aaron, Elliot, Chris, Jeffrey, Jeff. I don't know why I said Jeffrey, Andrew. Okay, what's good? There's a lot that's good. I'm feeling excited about making more YouTube videos. I feel like I'm starting to hit a bit of a... feel like I have a sense of what my style is going to continue to morph into. Hopefully you guys have noticed in my past dozen or so videos, I've had a bit more of a different vibe or style going on as I try to add a little bit more special sauce into my YouTube stuff. And clearly that's been being well received, and that's been a lot of fun. So that's what's good. Yeah. Luke, Zeka Films, Tokyo Craftsman. Man, Luke, I see you make comments often, so I just wanted to say I appreciate that. Same with you, Devin. I mean, a lot of you guys in here drop comments pretty often, but Devin and Luke specifically, you guys, I see a lot of comments from you guys. Really enjoying your videos. You inspire me to try my hand at making some vlogs. Yeah, making vlogs is fun. I wish that I had made more truly helpful videos at the start. I think one of the biggest shifts that's happening in my focus on YouTube is, for the longest time, it was such a side focus. Like, it would just get the scraps of my attention. And I really love doing YouTube, but basically what that means is I would only make videos that are documenting what's going on. But now I'm actually trying to make videos that, I guess the term would be, they're like actually shareable, because there's inherent value in the video beyond just like insight into my story. It's actually like a valuable video on its own. That's the direction that I kind of want to take YouTube a little bit. Yeah, thanks, Devin, for confirming the settling into current style. Thrills and Chills Media. Hey, Levi, I love your work. Ready to see some more Slackline vids and docs. What advice do you have for beginning filmmaker? Shot lists, planning, editing, etc. My advice always is just give yourself some limitations and make something within those limitations. Oftentimes when you're starting out, those limitations are decided for you. Like, you only have so-and-so camera and one lens, and maybe you don't have much time, but just like embrace the limitations of whatever you're working with, wherever you are, and try to make the best thing you can within that time frame. Really the best advice I can give is just make a lot of things, which I guess is like a really typical advice, but you just got to put the reps in. You just got to make stuff constantly. And something really cool happens when you go shoot something, edit it, and in that process, you learn a lot. The problem is a lot of people get really excited about the idea of making videos, and they stay in that stage where they're just constantly excited about the idea. And they're watching all these YouTube videos and all these tutorials and all these other inspiring filmmakers, but they always stay in the idea stage, and they don't actually ever go through the process of trying to craft something with the ideas. So the best advice I can give is embrace limitations and give yourself deadlines. to actually create and finish something. Because I found where I've grown the most is when I've given myself limitations to finish something. What I found the most difficult is when I let myself try to make projects that were way too massive. Like when I'd just be like, oh, I'm going to do this crazy, insane documentary as my first thing. I failed at like 4 or 5 of those before I actually made a documentary. Ooh, a bunch more. Hello from Canada, Sweden here. Hello, Canada, Sweden here. Yeah, Jay Hosh. Found you by watching Timber Frame. Thank you. Oh, great job filming it. Thanks. Appreciate that. Jeff Stewart, I got a new laptop and threw all I could at it. I knew would test the performance. Did you try and test out the performance-wise? What was the result? Yeah, my biggest excitement thing with the reason why the iMac Pro was instead of just getting like a regular updated iMac was I wanted to be able to work with red footage easily and also process time lapses, all the raw workflow stuff, and 8K RAW works beautifully on the iMac Pro, which is brilliant because that's like, that currently is the, as far as capture formats goes, that's the highest resolution capture format I see myself working with in the foreseeable future. So it's really exciting to actually have a computer that's capable of working with it. You have the same blanket? Are you serious? This one right here? Dan's beard. I see you leave comments every now and again, Dan's beard. I know you're out there. I think I even stopped by your YouTube channel. You put out videos, don't you? I think I checked out some. Do you take people to the gym with you? I think you did like some fitness stuff anyhow. Have you always freelanced or did you ever spend time in a production company? That's actually a great question. Kendrick Satterfield? Let's go with Satterfield. Yeah, so my freelance journey is a little interesting because I took a break partway into my journey of going full time. I started freelancing in about 2011. Basically, I put out videos on the internet and then people would ask me, hey, could you help film this thing? And so I'd help film the thing and I would charge them to do that. That's how freelancing works, I guess. Or someone else who was producing a video would be like, hey, we need you to come help shoot this thing. So that's started in 2011. And then I graduated high school in 2012 and I immediately did a year of Bible school, this like outdoor leadership program that I did. And that was 8 months long. And I thought I was gonna go right back into filmmaking, but I did it for 3 years. So at that point, no one was asking me to do video work. So I apprenticed for a company. There's a company out of Vancouver that I respected, some good guys that were, I think I looked at the way how they had families and they were living a life that looked balanced while doing video work. And I was like, is that too good to be true? Like, can you live a balanced life and work in production? So I said, hey guys, I would love to work alongside you. And that would be great. What do you guys think of that? They're like, oh, well, we don't know if we'll have work for you or not. And I was like, it's okay. We'll find work. It'll be good. And that's basically what summer 2015 was like. So have I always been freelancing? Since about 2011 when I bought my first camera, yeah, I've been doing little freelance gigs here and there. But I did work for a production company in between there called Transposition Films. And that's how I learned how to shoot on red and things like that. Oh boy, lots of questions. Aperture 120D or 300D? I'd buy the 120D first. That's Aaron asking that question. Just because the 120D is really versatile for basically any indoor shoots. The 300D is amazing for indoor shoots as well and like mimicking sunlight through windows. But it's just like quite a bit more powerful than the 120D, and the 120D is already super powerful. What's the latest on your workshops? Well, I'm trying to coordinate booking a sailboat with Captain John, the same guy that I sailed with this summer. I'm trying to nail down costs on that and what dates we could do that. So it'll most likely be, well, it's obviously going to be limited attendance because there's only 7 people that can be on the boat. So it'll be like an application process type thing. And then I might do another one that's less intensive. I think so, can't remember his name, but someone offered a location in Oregon where they had like a cabin on a ranch or something to do a workshop. So I might look into that. Creating my first, recapturing life. Hey Levi, I'm creating my first web series. Do you have any advice about creating a web series? How would you create the structure for each episode? Also, will you be putting out the Slack live soon? maybe giving advice on a web series will be best after I successfully release mine. The plan is sometime this year to have 8 to 10 episodes of the Slacklight series be released. John saying, GH5S video helped me make a purchase today. Thank you. No problem. Graduated high school in 2012. Well, I did too. Oh boy, so many messages. Hey man, tips on networking, creators in a new big city like New York. Planning on moving there. I suck at networking. I don't know how to do it. Other people are way better at it than me. I don't have any great networking tips. I used to have hair that long, maybe someday. Hey brother, yeah, I've been dabbling with the videos for fun. Definitely nothing at your caliber. Oh, don't worry about it, Dan. It's fun because I'm a very visual person, so I like recognize the little profiles that people have, especially people that have been around for a while, and dropping comments. Yeah, Aaron, the 120D has so much more punch than just a regular LED panel. What all-around lens do you use? Is it the Summilux 15-ish? I have the GH5 and feel the 25 is a bit too narrow. Yeah, if you're willing to invest in a great prime lens, the 12 mil Summilux is brilliant. For zoom lenses, I use the 12 to 35 constantly. You deserve way more subs. For me, I'm happy that some stuff is starting to gain a little traction. I mean, I've just been doing this for a little bit now. I mean, sometimes you look at these YouTubers that just like explode in a year, and it's really easy to make you feel not content with your current, with just what you got going on your own channel. But the reality is I'm very thrilled at just like slow progress forward. I mean, it kind of blows my mind that there's close to 50,000 people out there that have chosen to see videos from me. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's true that I deserve more subs. I think more subscribers will come if I just keep doing what I'm doing. The reality is I need to be smarter about the way I make my videos. I need to make videos about the stuff that people have been asking me for years. People have been asking me to make certain types of videos, and I just avoid the topics because they're hard videos to make. Teaching is hard. It takes planning. Yeah, the current growth I'm just very happy with because it allows me to mentally build up. It allows it, one, not to get to my head, which is great, and it allows me to build up a thick skin against negativity, which needs to be built up over time. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with the progression so far. I'm using your technique using the black background interview scene. Do you think that the 120D would work well for that? Yeah, the 120D would be great. You'd want to use a big softbox, or you could bounce it off an object. If you're using a softbox, you might want to like flag the edge of it with black fabric so that way it doesn't spill on the background. Where did you learn to build stuff with electronics and wood? I don't know if I learned it at a location, but my father was an electrical engineer before he turned pastor. So it's always been encouraged to take things apart. And my grandfather was a carpenter. Not that he taught me anything specifically, but it was always encouraged to just like build things. And so I just always kind of have. I'm not good with like finicky stuff, like fine-tuned carpentry. I'm not great at, but I can definitely hack things together. Luke, you still shooting in natural on your GH5? Yep, natural with sharpness, saturation, contrast turned down, and also noise reduction. Ooh, this is fun, guys. This is a good crew in here. I like this. There's a good roll of questions going on. Like, what kind of videos are people asking for? Okay, that's a great question. I mean, people have been asking me forever how to approach telling a good story, how to prep a shoot. Like, how do I find content for a documentary and actually go out and then make that documentary? People have been asking me how to edit documentaries. People have been asking me how to color grade. People have been asking me basically everything to do with the ins and outs of filmmaking. And I've just had a really hard time learning how to teach that stuff because the truth is, for me, I just developed, yeah, it's hard for me to put that stuff to words because it's so in my head, and I don't usually create plans when I go into stuff. I just make. So it's hard to teach people that. I'm torn. Love the small community you have. I'll miss it when you become more popular, but I also want you to succeed and make more money from YouTube. Yeah, Caden, I just realized that what I enjoy making the most is like YouTube videos. And I am torn about that. Like it's at that stage where I can mentally picture a lot of the people that I interact with often on YouTube, and it would be a sad day when when it's just like so overwhelming that I can't interact more. But I think at that stage, then it just changes to something new. It just keeps evolving. Like at that stage, maybe that close, personal, small community feel would come from live workshops on location with like 20, 30 people getting together. Cause that's the long-term plan, like getting people together in groups all over the world. And, and, and that future will be a lot of fun. So yes, it'll get a lot bigger on YouTube, but as that happens, we'll continue to find ways to break away and be smaller, if that makes sense, especially the people that want to press in and learn more. Oh, message retracted, so I missed that. As someone who's starting to go into filmmaking as a main source of revenue myself, what are some boundaries you set in life to keep balance? I find it so easy to become a workaholic when freelancing. For me, I think one thing that's been key for that is like a very important relationship in my life, which is being married. That has probably helped me more than anything to like keep my life in check. And just the way that my wife's skill set helps complement the stuff that helps complement my personality really just has prevented my life from just like recklessly spiraling out of control, in the sense that like I'm not a very organized person by nature, and she brings a lot of order to our life. So I mean, if I'm just left up to my own devices, I'll just go days without eating proper meals, and I'll just like it'll be crazy. But you know, when there's someone else that you're doing life with, and they're like, hey, well, we should probably eat food together and things like that, it helps keep you in track. I don't know great advice for that, because in the past 2 years I have worked really hard and a lot, so I don't know a great answer to that. I think one of the key things is, once you notice something that's a change, and like you're aware in your heart and your soul, like, hey, something needs to change it immediately. Prove to the people in your life that you're willing to make changes immediately, not just like prolong, because oftentimes you get so deep in the work that you forget to make certain types of changes for your health and for the care of your soul, that when you come to the realizations, like those are the times to act. Like, make action quickly once you realize change needs to happen. That's a pretty vague answer, but where do you see yourself in 10 years professionally? Anders Braithen. I wonder how you pronounce that with the cool little dot over the A. Where do I see myself? That's a bit of a secret. That's not allowed to be shared. I hope I'm investing back into people I hope a lot of my efforts are investing back into people, because that's what I really, really find joy in. Do you live in your van or just use it for camping trips and whatnot? Yeah, I don't live in the van currently. I lived in it for almost 6 months when I was making my first film, but right now I only use it on production. So I'll spend about 2 months out of a year in it, give or take. I'd love to see a video on how to run the editing software, how you learn to run the new software in like a week, what strokes are. Yeah, I'll make a video on transferring to Final Cut 10. Do you think I should go for a stereo or shotgun video mic for a doc about a trip in a wood being hunted at all? We'll film people, but it will still have the audio from... I'd go shotgun mic. Yeah. Okay. How can you know what to charge for your work? I'm always trying to be reasonable, but I realize I'm always being too cheap. At a certain point, you realize as a freelancer that it's not practical. Like, after you freelance for a year, you get a better awareness of all the costs that go into running a production company and to be a freelancer and to upkeep your equipment and to file taxes and to pay accountants. And so you're no longer just looking at it like, oh, at my job that I worked at, I made so-and-so per hour, so when I do video work, I just need to make the same amount. You recognize you don't have a freelance gig every single day when you're doing freelance. So the reality that you need to be making at least $300, $500 a day when you're shooting becomes pretty obvious. And the fact that it's really unsustainable to do it for less than that just becomes painfully obvious. So how do you know what to charge when you're doing your work? For freelance stuff, I currently don't book day rate stuff for under $500 a day. That's the lowest I'll do. And then I'm shooting for $800 to $1,000 a day Canadian. in the States. So that's for like, so to be specific there, those are shoots where I'm directing and filming. So, and often that's with gear. If I'm just helping out in someone else's production, then I'll willingly go lower than that. But I know that the skill set of producing a video is worth money. And so I don't want to work with people who aren't capable of leveraging the skill set to make money. That's kind of the key pivot points around freelancing. Is it's so much fun to work for clients that know how to use video to make money, because that means they can spend money on it. And that's just a really great place to be in. You still have to compromise sometimes and meet them where they're at, but there's actually money to be used. Okay, that was a bit of a long answer, sorry. You still using Premiere or Final Cut? Everything's been in Final Cut, Hayden. Everything. Basically since January 10th, I haven't edited a single video in Premiere. And it's been great in Final Cut. I'm loving it. And the reason why I wanted to get the workflow dialed in Final Cut was, especially for YouTube, is because I want to be able to edit YouTube videos while traveling. And so I wanted to be able to do it from a laptop. I'm just not convinced a Premiere workflow on a laptop is possible in the way that I see the future going as far as resolution and Adobe not keeping up with updates. So I made the jump. Do you still use After Effects? Yeah, I use After Effects for tracking titles. Scott saying, your work's amazing. Thanks for the hard work. No problem. Ryan, do you share the same faith as your dad? I feel like it comes through your personality and content. Yeah, that's an interesting thing for me. I've been very cautious on how I present faith through videos online, just because it's so easy for it to be superficial. And frankly, I don't think trying to like evangelize over video would ever be received well. Like yeah, my faith is the most important thing to me, which is interesting for some people to wrap their heads around. But I don't know, I just want to be normal about it, but also, yeah, because, yeah, it's doing it on videos is, I have yet to see a way of someone to like casually, I just think it's very easy for it to seem contrived, and I don't want to contrive it. I'm way more inclined to have one-on-one conversations with people. And obviously when I'm asked, I'll answer what the truth is. And if the moment is possible, I will share what I feel my truth is in life. But oftentimes people aren't asking you to share their truth in life, so I'm not going to force it on them. Glad to hear you're excited to invest more in YouTube 2018. What are some of your goals in YouTube? Yeah, I want to settle into my style a little bit more. I feel like I'm just figuring out what that is and what that means for me. I don't want to just be like an echo chamber of what other people are doing. And I want to make more. I want to do YouTube full time. That's kind of the way I've been looking at this year, is just how can I do YouTube full time? So yeah, that's what I want. KenTube, when is Sprinter 2.0 coming? I'm saving for that right now, Ken. I've got to deal with the rust on my van. I don't have a nice fancy NCV3 like you've got yourself there. Obviously, you've worked hard for that. You guys, if you're into van builds, you should check out KenTube's. I'm not even sure if I'm saying that right. KennyTube, maybe. He's a really kind guy, and he's got a fantastic build going over on his page. I would definitely check it out. Very thorough in his process. I think right now in March, April, May, June. May and June, I plan to do a lot of work on the van if the time allows. How to shoot shorts when I have no friends interested. That's real tough. No. Jay Hosh, 800 to 1,000 including post. No, those are just shoot days. I don't often do day rate stuff. Often what I do is producing videos. So when I pitch a video project to a client, it's usually one price. So it's like this video for $5,000, and that's the shoot days and the editing. This year I've been doing more day shoots for other people, so that way I don't have to edit it, so that way I can have more time to edit my own stuff. Whew. Man, this is so fun. Cheers from Orange County. Hey, I actually lived in Los Angeles County for 5 years growing up. I'm 43 and feel the same. Oh, I'm excited for my 30s and 40s. Yeah, I don't know. Premiere and PC, Mac and Final Cut. I don't think you should do Premiere and Mac. I will have to try live streaming sometimes. Yeah, hopefully this quality is working out. I just literally pulled out my phone and was like, hey, live streaming would be fun. I haven't done that in a while. Have you had a chance to film with HDR10 yet? I have not. Ba, 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 ba. How do you shoot shorts when I have no friends interested? I don't know. I didn't really have friends interested. So I made new friends. that's that's funny. That's the truth though. Like I didn't have friends that were ever interested in it. And I just put myself out there, found athletes that were doing interesting things. And that's how it happened. Stavro, is that how you pronounce your name? Stavro? Levi is live. Get after it, man. The legend. What was I feel like I just interacted with you on Instagram. Was that, no, that was on Twitter. You were asking about, yeah, a great video you guys should watch. Chris Howe just put out an awesome explanation of how to leverage getting the kind of work that you want to get. So if you're looking into freelancing, watch that video. I think he calls it How to Get Paid to Travel. I've noticed the slides in your recent vids. It's been awesome. It's subtle, but different than your norm. Yeah, so that's the funny thing. I actually did slides like a while back, and then I stopped for a while. But that's with my Kessler motion control equipment, but I've been bringing it back a little bit. Would you ever do an edit with me type video? What does that mean? Edit with me. If you could clarify that question, that would help me answer it better, I think. Hi there. Like your film work, great stuff. Found you on Pure Living for Life. Thanks, Dan. How did you develop your style? I don't know. Obviously, my style is influenced by some of the content that I consume. I've been really digging. Oh man, there's so many people. There's just this. Okay, so I always forget his last name, but you know Max, the gray-haired guy from Catfish, the videos that he makes on YouTube, that kind of storytelling style where it's like upbeat, but it's got text and that kind of thing. I'm fascinated by that style. I've never tried to make that kind of video, but those types of storytelling styles are fascinating to me, and I'm trying to come up with my own like grungy hybrid of that at some point. Maybe not with so much text, but if you remember back to my New York vlogs, I had a lot of fun with those just because it felt a little different. You screen record while editing and explaining. Like all the way through beginning to end on a video. I've done stuff kind of like that before. Yeah, I should do maybe another thing like that. Hey, Levi, where do you buy your music? Always love your music and videos. There's two websites that I use for my YouTube videos, primarily Artlist and Epidemic Sound. Those are the two that I use. Both of them are subscription services, and you can use the videos for, you can use the music for your YouTube videos. Read my thoughts, really valuable material. What's your next non-client project you're planning on working on? YouTube. That's what I'm trying to wrap my head around doing excellently. I've got always so many videos on the go. It's pretty hard to keep up on all of them. My next non-client project would be probably the Sprinter Van project, and also finishing and relaunching the Slack Life series. Yeah, Victor Bart from the Netherlands, of course. You're watching at work. Classic. You drop comments often. It's I feel like you started watching about this time last year, around the shot over contest or something like that. What's your favorite YouTuber? That's a hard one to answer. That one, obviously, Elle Mills is someone that I've been fascinated with her story, like her style. So Elle Mills is someone that I've really admired. Like when she releases a video, I'm so quick to hit play on it. I binge watched a lot of Odd Ones Out. That's an interesting word to try to say out loud. Odd Ones Out. Yeah, Max Joseph, that's the one. Samir and Colin are two guys that I just found that I really dig their style. Obviously, I subscribe to Peter McKinnon and Travel Fields and Chris Howe and a few of those guys. And I don't always watch every video, but I just kind of pay attention to what some of the interesting titles and thumbnails that other guys are doing, just kind of to try to pay attention and learn. Could you stream the view from the top of the van while driving with surround sound? That would be amazing. You should check out Yes Theory. Yeah, I watched a few of their videos after watching Colin and Samir. Do you miss anything from Premiere? There's a few little quirks that annoy me as far as like copying effects from clip to clip, but so far there isn't anything that's really annoying me. Only found you a few days ago. Love your style, both your filming and especially your personality. So different from so many more brash vloggers. Thanks, John. Appreciate that. I try to just be me. Hopefully that works. I'm a meeting in town in my GP. No patients right now, of course. You're a general practitioner? That's awesome. Wow. As a filmmaker, how important is Instagram for you, and do you use it as a tool to get new projects and work? I used to think Instagram was like the most important thing. That's particularly when I was like a grade 11, grade 12 in high school. So I put a lot of effort in grade 12, grade 11 and grade 12. But as of right now, I don't put almost any effort behind Instagram besides just like using it for fun. There is no strategic plan for me on Instagram right now. I might try to be more strategic with it in the future, but right now I've just been focusing on YouTube. I don't think people are going to find me on Instagram and come to YouTube. I think people are going to find me on YouTube and go to Instagram. And Instagram is just a great way to like share visuals in little snippets. So I really, really like Instagram stories. I loved Snapchat stories, but I hated the interface and how to find people. And I always felt like I was staring at a magazine rack in Snapchat. So once Instagram stories came out, I so happily deleted Snapchat. What did you do to promote YouTube when you started? The first videos I made when I came back wanting to make regular videos was actually tutorials, because I knew people would be searching questions on YouTube, and I wanted to have videos that were the answers to some of those questions. And those were my best performing videos for a long time. So I didn't necessarily promote them. I just tried to make videos that were answers to people's questions. And then also the vlogs that I was doing. Oh, hey. Oh, shoot. Dane. Is it Dane? Is that how? For some reason, my brain's telling me Dane's not the right way to pronounce that. But yeah, this was so cool. I was just walking in downtown Vancouver and ran into Dane. Gone through some of your old tips. So much value. Appreciate it. No problem, man. Hopefully that shoot you did on Saturday, was that Saturday that you were going to shoot? Hopefully that went well. Have you ever been to or planned to come to Atlanta or anywhere close? I don't think I plan to go to Atlanta. I'm sorry. I don't know. Unless there's a project that's going to bring me to Atlanta. That's Atlanta, Georgia, correct? I don't know what would bring me to Atlanta. I'm sorry. I'm new to this channel. What's that? Yeah, good to have you, man. We're a good crew around here. For those that are just popping in, I'm just hanging out and answering questions, just having a good time. People are coming and going, and we're just hanging out. So I was going to go skiing. And so that means I was supposed to go to bed a while ago if I was going to go skiing tomorrow, but apparently the roads are really bad, so I won't be making it out tomorrow. I'm watching now for a year now after the GH5 vlog. Yeah, that was basically a year ago. I feel like for the last year, things have felt a little different on YouTube in the fact that like it's been growing pretty steadily. The first 2 years or so was very slow, which was fine. Found you through Timber Frame. Thank you. Appreciate that. Which mountain? I was going to go to Manning Park. Kyle, are you from around this area? Good morning from Liverpool, UK, 7 a.m. Wow. That is early. I've never been to the UK, which is kind of sad. So I've been to Canada. I've lived in Canada, lived in the United States. I haven't been on the East Coast besides New York. I've been in Mexico, El Salvador, and Jamaica. And that's it. So there's like so much of the world I have yet to go see. 2 a.m. You are up at 2 a.m.? That is wild. After seeing your video about shifting your income output relationship to give more income for web products so you have more time for your own work, I noticed you didn't mention YouTube at all. What is the question there exactly? So I'm assuming you're referring to the video where I think I titled it, "We Need to Talk About How I Make Money." Is that the video? If you could clarify quick, I'll just jump on whatever the specific question is. Hi from California. What's up? Where in California do you live? Siobhan? The Midwest. What about the Midwest? My relatives are from Iowa, so I've been there a bunch. There's a spare room for here whenever. There's a spare room for you here whenever, dude. Thanks, man. Every staff. Chicago's 110. Wow. 4 a.m. in Argentina. Combined with your talk about super authentic video being super important to you. Have you been affected by the YouTube content not suitable for most advertisers restrictions? It seems to hit everyone of mine. Yeah, I mean, I don't make much AdSense at all. So it's hard to say that I've been affected by it because it's not like there's a big difference from before and after. How do you get hooked up with Pure Living for Life? They found me on YouTube. They found some of my tutorials. They asked me questions, and they were like, hey, can we call you about a project? And that's how it started. Why do you value YouTube ultimately is the question. Haha. Yes, that video. Why do I value YouTube? I see YouTube as being, okay, that's a multi-nuanced question. For me, the business that I'm trying to build is primarily going to ultimately end up being education driven. So where I see a lot of revenue being generated in the future is from selling courses, basically creating adventure film masterclasses that someone who wants to learn how to do what I do can buy and just get so much value slammed at them. And I see YouTube as being a really great way to learn how to teach, to build trust with people, so that way there's actually people who want to. So basically, okay, here it is. You guys want to know what I've been doing on YouTube? Here's what I've been doing on YouTube. In the past 3 years, I've been sharing me doing my work as I learn how to do it. And through that process, people have been finding my work and asking questions. And while people ask me questions, I keep track of what those questions are, and I try to learn how to teach what those questions are, the answers to them. And in that process, I'm building trust with people like yourself, maybe not you, maybe you don't trust me at all. That's okay. And the goal is to shift from doing videos for clients to doing a couple of videos for clients a year, but ultimately teaching people how to make great outdoor adventure stories and build a business while doing it. So the first step of this was build a business myself that actually worked, and then build trust with an audience that is asking me questions, and then I can build a solution to those questions for the audience while still giving lots of stuff away for free. Does that make sense? So I'll always be creating free stuff on YouTube, but I want to be able to give, if someone's like, man, I just want a deep dive into all of this, can I buy a course from you? Which is a question I actually get frequently. That's where I want to shift my business towards, is education, because I love teaching. That's a big thing that I really get, like, I get so much fun out of. Oh man, there's so many questions. Oh my word, this is wild. Okay, let's try. Love the channel. Shows you don't need to be big, loud, extroverted to make great, captivating content on YouTube. Some might disagree with you. I'm pretty extroverted and loud, but I appreciate the kind words anyways. John McCabe, have you tried the 179? I haven't. I don't use 180-degree shutter on the GH5 exactly. So if I'm shooting in 59.96 frames per second, I'll do 125 shutter speed. And sometimes I'll do even 200. Wow, crazy. So, oh man, there's so much. This is so exciting. Okay. Why are you holding a cam? Oh, I'm sorry. Because I'm just on my phone. And I just randomly started doing a YouTube live stream. So I'm sorry. Maybe I'm shaking it too much. My bad. Yeah, Dane, hopefully that answers your question a little bit about my focus on YouTube. For me, it's worth doing because I really enjoy it. But I'm putting a lot of effort behind it because I'm trying to build an education business eventually. And I feel like the best way to build an education business is to answer people's questions. And if you answer people's questions and they want to learn more from you, maybe they reach a place where they actually want to buy a course from you and or a workshop or those kinds of things. Ooh, Rise asked a question. Hey, Rise, thanks for all the really kind comments. I noticed you must watch a lot of YouTube, Rise, because I see you everywhere. But anyhow, when will you do the masterclass about outdoor filmmaking? So then I could buy tickets for coming. Switzerland is a bit far away, so the sooner the better. Yeah, this is tough. I don't know the exact answers on time. I'm doing something different this year. I'm oh, sorry, I just got distracted. I'm so ADD. How did you discover the fly on track? I found that on MusicBed. Right. So this year I'm doing 6-week project spans where I make a plan for 6 weeks and then execute it for 6 weeks. So what that allows me to do is say no to stuff for a certain period of time without having to worry about it. So currently right now I'm focusing on YouTube and client projects that will make me the most income for the year. And so right now one of the things I'm not worried about is figuring out the masterclass too much. That will just have to come down the road when I'm set up to tackle that properly. Hi from Comox. Awesome. If you're available, could you take you and your wife with my family? In Denman is a day sale. Hey, maybe that's a possibility. That coordinating that might be a bit tough, but maybe that could work. I'm not sure. Would that be in the summer sometime? The summer is going to be a little crazy, actually. But I don't know. Maybe we should stay in touch. That'd be interesting. How are you and your lady doing after the car accident? We've been actually great. Health has been awesome. There's one of those days, like a week ago, I woke up with a bit of a sore neck, and I was kind of like, uh-oh, this is what people warned me about. But yeah, no, my health has been awesome. Thanks for asking. Would you do a Netflix movie? Not yet. I don't think I have the skill set yet. I would want to work with a very great team if I would do a movie like that. Been wanting to do a documentary about the amazing lives of refugee students I work with in California, hoping to help change the negative stereotypes. Robert, I would recommend starting as small as possible and doing small chunks first and seeing if you like the style and tone. I've wanted to do documentaries that are similar in impact. Like the goal has been to do something like that. But oftentimes the scale and the scope of the project was way too big for me to tackle. I wish I'd focused on doing smaller, like 3-minute videos first and tried to see if that would actually work. Hayden, that's great to hear. GH5's been good for you. It always makes me a little nervous when guys make the Sony switch to GH5 based off my advice, because I know it's not for everyone, but I hope your experience with it is great. Let me know if you have any questions, man. Whoa, so many questions. This is so fun, guys. It's great hanging with you. Back today, 10 days spent in Tasmania. Difficult thing was I traveled solo. How do you make a film without an obvious subject? You can shoot a lot of content and then give a voiceover afterwards to build structure around a certain thematic idea, or film yourself. What do you think of the Edelkrone wing as a smooth travel for B-roll? Have you used it? Thanks for the great content. I actually haven't used it. It looks really interesting. I like that you don't have, yeah, it looks fascinating. I've been talking so much, my throat's getting dry. Levi, do you write out your vlogs or decide it in the edit? If it's like a vlog, like a travel vlog, I'll just document it as it goes. But lately I've been doing videos where I want it to be a little bit more structured in how I set up the video. So then sometimes I'll do a little writing. What made you interested in film? Watching Peter Jackson behind the scenes videos for Lord of the Rings and watching behind the scenes videos for Matrix and stuff like that. That just drew me right into the world of filmmaking. Do you shoot any short films, not documentaries, drama type? I haven't made a single drama since maybe like high school. I don't have any plans to do that soon. I'll hopefully develop into that more in the future. Whoa, so much. When you started making videos and how you started. I started making videos in 2011. I worked a part-time job, saved up $2,000, bought a camera and a computer, and started making biking videos and music videos. So my buddies would organize these house shows of live music, and I would film live music videos. That's how I got started. Please say hello to Ellie, please. Hello, Ellie. Great to have you in the live stream. Oh, Eloise Oples, Oples. Man, it's. Please say hello to Ellie and Max. Hello, Ellie and Max. my landlord just popped in and says, "Keep it down there." Whoops! Apparently, I'm starting to yell in our basement suite here. Maybe he's complaining about internet streaming as well. You watching any good Netflix shows right now, Dwayne? How much money you invested in your gears? Thousands. Yes, many thousands. What has been the hardest part about running a production business as well as creating YouTube content on a regular basis? We are just launching and doing the exact same thing. What has been the hardest part about running a production company? I think it's impossible to do both with tons of intensity. For me, at least it was. And that's the constant struggle. Yeah, that's hard. That's a really hard question. The reality is there's always more work to be done. So that's the hard part. Always more work to be done. Jacob, what's up, dude? What are your thoughts on the Sony cameras? I'm really looking at the A7S Mark II currently. I'd hold off on the Mark II. There's probably going to be a Mark III anytime now. And so if you still want the Mark II, it'll be down in price, or maybe you'll consider the Mark III. Best lenses for GH5 and tips for doing freelance in the future. I'm going to university. 12 to 35 is my favorite lens for the GH5. Have you upgraded the PC? If so, what? Yeah, I bought an iMac Pro. So not a PC, an iMac Pro. Yeah, we feel the same. We're ambitious and we are already feeling it. You planning to go red in the future? I don't have any active plans for buying a red kit right now. The only thing that would motivate me buying a red kit would be either getting funding for a series. Yeah, that might actually be the only circumstance that I could imagine enough funds being available to buy a red. I've shot on red a bunch. I've got a bunch of red footage on my hard drives, but I don't have it. Have you thought about offloading some work to an apprentice or assistant? Yes. But at this stage of my business, I want to be able to pivot really quickly. So I've been really careful about adding too many people to my operation. So that way I'm not responsible for too many other people right now in this exact stage. Working with more people will happen in the future for sure. See you, Ronald. Have a great day at work, dude. I think Dwayne gets acoustic feedback. Yep. What's your current age and what's the age you started at? I'm 23, almost 24. I started when I was 16. Still using the Westcott Flex lights? Yep. I've been loving the super powerful single source lights from Aputure though. Man, the photos on your Instagram with all the dust and the new iMac, are you insane? I guess so, probably. If you're ever there in Southern California, we'd love to get some grub and chat. Yeah, that'd be great. Do you ever walk on those crazy slacklines yourself? I tried it. I made a vlog about it, actually. Can't remember what I titled that vlog. Maybe something like Sprinter Van movie premiere or something like that. Yeah, I tried it. When did you know it was time to get an apprentice or extra help? It was time to get an apprentice like 2 years ago. And I still haven't gotten one. Are there any affordable high frame rate cameras like 200 FPS? I have no idea. Do you have any team behind your videos and work for edit and shoot? I shoot and edit everything myself. Occasionally for projects, I'll bring along additional shooters, but every video you see from me has been edited by me currently. Did I go to university? Nope, I did not. I did a year of Bible school. Can you say, oh, wow, that's a hard word to say. I can't say that word. Heme. Sorry. 23, man, you're a baby. Yep, I'm very young. And yep, yeah, I'm young. Sticking with pushing forward with Final Cut or going back to Premiere? Yeah, Final Cut's the future. I'm not optimistic about Premiere at all at this point. Unless Adobe rewrites it from the ground up, I think it's dying software, to be honest with you. I don't think that they're in a place to be innovating it to keep up to date with modern workflows. I think the direction of editing is changing, and I was behind the curve. Question, what would you recommend? Invest in better gear and start practicing, or invest in cheaper gear and do masterclass workshop? The cool thing about education is that will like, that's tough. Education experiences when you're starting out in the $500 to $1,000 range sometimes make all the difference. So if it means, do you buy 3 lenses or 2, and 2 means you get to do a workshop, I would do 2 lenses in a workshop. Investing in your education for me, I love in-person experiences. So instead of paying for workshops, I would leverage getting to work alongside the people that I wanted to learn from. So, lol, kamehameha. Wasn't thinking about uni, but feel that I'll be a much better filmmaker that way, making films, etc. Yeah, I don't think film school is worthwhile at all, to be honest with you. People say that the most valuable thing for film school is networking. It's like, well, what if you just took all the money you spent on film school, paid yourself to go network anyways, and just paid your friends to make videos with you? Just seems like a really comfortable, easy decision to make because it's so easy to get loans to do school. But like, if you think about how crazy that is, borrowing like 50 to 100 grand to do school, and you still have to pay it all back, and it's not guaranteeing you anything. That's wild. Did you ever use 3D LUT Creator? I've actually never used that. If I could get rid of that $55 a month, yeah. I'm still paying it because I'm using After Effects, Lightroom, and Photoshop, but I wish I could get rid of it. Yeah, I'd love to. Are you planning? So Anton's asking, are you planning on collaborating? I would love to collaborate. Part of the difficult thing is when you reach out for collaborations, it's often respectable to do it with people that are in your similar bracket of audience size. So if I were to reach out to Maddie like today and be like, yo, we should do a collab. Yes, I think there's a chance that if the circumstances lined up, he'd be willing to do it. But it's hard for that not to be perceived like I'm just trying to tap into his audience. And so that's where, yes, I want to do collaborations with people, but I also want to just grow my core group first. Yeah, I don't know a good answer to that. I wish maybe I'd done more collaborations earlier on, but I haven't. How much views you got on your first video? Man, you've got so many questions. I love it. I can't remember. Not many. Yeah, don't worry, John. I didn't take the age comment offensively at all. No worries at all. How do you choose between living the moment or get your camera and shoot the moment to do a video afterwards? For me, these days, part of what makes moments so exciting is knowing that I get to capture them. So for me, it's not a choice. Like, I genuinely enjoy moments more when I get to capture them on video. I mean, if it's something like the birth of my first child, I think it's pretty obvious what I'm going to be focused on. But for stuff like sunsets and hanging out with friends and doing adventures, like, I genuinely enjoy the adventure more documenting it. It's just the truth. Yeah, I don't know if Peter would do a collaboration with me at this stage. Again, it's an interesting prospect to have someone that's like a 20th of your, what's the math on that? What, like Peter has almost 2 million followers and I have like 50,000. It's just, it's hard for that not to feel like, in Peter's perspective, that I'm just trying to use him. So unless I had a previous relationship with him or had a very good reason to like collaborate around, it's difficult to approach those conversations without being like, without it feeling like you're just trying to use the person, which I understand. Hi, if the new iMac Pro does not work for you, will you build a new Hackintosh? I'm never building a Hackintosh again. I've built one. I've edited on one. I have no interest in using a Hackintosh. It's just not stable enough. I'm sorry. Oh, dear. Apparently there's... Okay, let's hide that user. Oh, geez. How do I report? Oh, gosh. Okay, good. We're done. That was an interesting message. You started shooting live music. Any tips on what to do and what not to do? Get good sound. That's a really important part. Film with your friends. I don't know. Do you know what Dragon BLL Super is? Dragon, is that supposed to say Dragon Ball Z? I know what over 9,000 is. That's something. Yeah, so I agree you can collab with anyone, but again, like if my audience size is not big, so I don't mean to keep referencing audience size because that's not important. But the quantity of people that are aware of my work on the scale of the internet is not actually that big. And even I get tons of messages of people trying to do stuff with me, and it is overwhelming. So I can't begin to imagine what someone like Peter McKinnon must experience as far as people reaching out to do videos with him. And frankly, at this stage, I don't want to just join the noise. I want something to line up in a way where it makes a lot of sense to do something like that. Did you ever try to make VFX and CGI? Nope. Devin wants to do a collab. That's rad. Do you like anime? Cowboy Bebop, that's an anime show that I watched a bunch with my brother in high school, but I basically haven't watched any anime since. I think the show was called Cowboy Bebop. Maybe someone can confirm that for me. What do you want to do at Future? What do you want to do at Future? Make more great videos. Did you say cake and sound? I don't think so. Why would I have said cake and sound? I don't know. Cake and sound. Oh, great sound is what I said. Do you have any other big interests besides filmmaking? Oh, I have a lot of interests. I love biking. I love surfing. I love hiking. I love music. I love people. Oh man, it's so hard to keep up, guys. This is happening so fast. Yeah, Cowboy Bebop is the right name. Yeah, that show was brilliant. How important is After Effects for the videos you edit? For me, when I use 3D tracking, After Effects has the best way to do that. Most valuable tools for travel video. I do professional real estate video, but I'm looking for lighter, easier to use gear for adventure lifestyle videos. Any suggestions? Do you use a gimbal already? That's a great tool. Hey, Rise, take care. Peace. Yeah, maybe we'll wrap up in a bit here. I'm good to keep chatting. If you guys want to keep hanging around, but we're approaching an hour. Wow, no wonder my voice is getting sore. Have you played with Track X for Final Cut Pro X? Tracks and Mocha, so it works nice too. Oh no, I haven't. I should look into that. I'm gonna take a screenshot to remember that. How did you start with salts? I love sailing and I'm wondering about working on a tall ship. I paid to do one of their trips, and on that trip I made a video, and then I volunteered for them multiple years in a row. That's how I got started. I have a home base now, Bike in Motion. I've got a sweet basement suite in the Fraser Valley. Do you approach every personal shoot from a story first standpoint? I don't think I'm that specific about it, but but I'm constantly thinking of what is it that I'm trying to communicate. So in that sense, that is the story. Like what is the message that you're trying to convey? So on a personal shoot, like I make YouTube videos all the time, and I feel like sometimes those lack great. I feel like sometimes the YouTube videos I make don't have great story. But if I'm like intentionally shooting a documentary, like I'm always trying to find the story angle. What time is it here? It is 11:35. Ashton Kutcher has a beard. Yep. 8:35 here. Hey, man. 3:30 a.m. in Nova Scotia. What are all the bad things I did as a kid? I lit a jerry can on fire and then tried to put it out with a hose. And then my dad used the jerry can to put gas in the lawnmower later, and it ruined the lawnmower. That's something bad I did as a kid. Oftentimes, Dane, what will inspire the shoot is a story I can see in my head before we go out to make it. So that's like what's the word for that? The impetus, like the original inspiration. My brain is trying to build a way of a story that will work. And then as I go out shooting, I'm trying to find something similar to what I originally saw in my head while still allowing the events that are unfolding to speak to me. So there's the process of trying to find the story while shooting, trying to find the story before you even shot. That's usually the inspiration. And then crafting it and refining it in the edit. And often in the edit, you could completely rework it if you wanted to, but it's going to be really hard to have something to work with if you didn't have direction while shooting. What are some non-obvious lessons you have learned from YouTubing? Oh, I mean, it's obvious, but the pitch on your piece of content is really important. Like the title and the thumbnail and what the concept is really important. Jack Coyne just did an interview with Craig Adams on his podcast, and he talks about this, like finding your angle on the individual video is super important, especially if you want people to watch it. It's one thing to be able to execute on telling a great story, and it's another thing to position that story in a way where people will actually click it to watch it. When you were younger, what did you do usually? A lot of things. Yeah, that's too impossible to answer. Appreciate the kind words, Buck and Under. Appreciate it. What's your favorite project you've worked on? Untethered, without a doubt. If you haven't seen it, go to untetheredfilm.ca. Buy the film, watch it. It's so good. It's so good because of the content. Like, just the subject matter is fascinating. I'm not trying to just anyhow. Who do you use for music? Epidemic Sound and Artlist. How do you feel about YouTube's new monetization rules? Has anybody affected your channel? I don't make money from YouTube really anyways, so it hasn't affected me. My goal has never been to make money from YouTube ad revenue, so personally, I don't care. Can you mop my studio? Yeah, see, I mean, that's probably the hardest thing when people say, hey, man, I'd love to help on something. It's super difficult to take people up on that. And what I've always tried to do is find very specific situations I can help people on. Man, it's so tough when you like see someone that you want to work with and do something for, like getting on their radar in a way where it like makes sense and lines up. Because one thing we have to acknowledge in this like digital age is so many people are reaching out to those that we see as being like leaders in a space that it's like so hard to stand out. One thing I did if there's someone that I really want to meet for coffee, oftentimes I'll just film a little video like this. Just say, hey, I'm Levi. I'd love to meet coffee with you. I'm going to be in your area at this time. Can I buy you a coffee? And I find that's worked very well for me to be able to hang out with people that might miss an email from me because it just blends in with all the other ones. Oh man, ABC keeps making comments about me being Ashton Kutcher. That's hilarious. Put together a Patreon, man. You have a solid community. I'm sure you would get a serious amount of support and love. That's so my perspective on Patreon is not using it as a donation platform, but using it as a way to get access to content of higher value. What I mean by that is if I did a Patreon, I'd want it to mean something like, oh, you get an extra podcast, or oh, you get videos early, or oh, you get a special this, that, or the other thing. And frankly, at this point, I don't have enough effort or energy to be able to create extra stuff beyond growing the YouTube channel. And I've looked at the numbers, and off my audience size, there won't be enough people proportionally to support on the Patreon at a level that will make it be worth all the effort, if that makes sense. I would be willing to consider Patreon in the future, but right now, if I tried to put my effort into growing the Patreon, I just wouldn't feel good about it because I wouldn't be able to put effort into creating something truly unique over there. I shoot on the GH5s basically for everything right now. What in the world? There's some spam things in here. I don't know if you guys see all that stuff, but sorry about that. I feel the exact same way about Patreon. My buddy with 180K stub tried it and it wasn't worth it. Yeah. I feel like not to be disrespectful to anybody that's suggesting to use Patreon, I feel like if you see someone who's running a YouTube channel that's like, oh, if you see someone who's running a YouTube channel and you'd love to see more stuff from them, it's easy to think that creating a Patreon would be the answer. But for me, the reality is it would not be a significant amount of income, and the amount of stress that it would add in my life would not be worth the amount of income that it would create. So, can you ride a motorcycle? Yes. Do you ever play video games? Funny story. I don't play video games. Occasionally in my life, I've downloaded an iPhone video game or two and spent way too much time on it. And specifically one game, I can't even remember what it was. It was something like some stupid pirates game, like a Clash of Clans, but pirates. Oh, Plunder Pirates maybe it was called. That I played that game for 1 week. I put in so many hours on that game, and I realized I need to delete this app and start making things. And that was in 2014. That was 2014. And that was right around when I started getting ready to start making videos on YouTube. So Dane, I don't think he made zero conversion. I just don't think the number was significant maybe for the amount of effort. Because again, Patreon can be used for donations, which if you want to use it for that, fine. But I think where Patreon works best is if you're actually offering something unique to those people on that platform. And so oftentimes if you want to offer something great to the Patreons to incentivize higher reward levels, but if not enough people jump over, then it feels like every YouTube video that you make, you're trying to get people over. It just feels like kind of counterintuitive sometimes. I really like a good steak. Yeah. So Victor, again, on the Patreon, I'm not convinced it would make that big of a difference. It might in the future if the channel's bigger, but at this stage, the amount of effort it would take, I just don't want that to be a focus right now. So maybe I'll consider it in the future. Have you seen Dane Mace? No, I haven't. Yeah, that's the tough thing, that description you're saying there. Yeah, she was offering good value, but not many Patreons. Yeah, patrons. That's the situation I don't want to find myself in, where I'm spending so much effort on content that's behind a paywall. I've heard the GH5 has lousy autofocus. Does this impact your shooting? Yeah, it is lousy. I've managed to make it work for vlog stuff, but it's not amazing by any stretch. The 4K 60p makes it worth turning a blind eye to it. What's your thoughts on Leicas or Hasselblads? I've never used either. Hasselblads are amazing because they're such large sensor size. Medium format is amazing. How would you invest your time to learn photography and videography from going intermediate to advanced? How would I invest my time doing that? My strategy for learning things is just having a vision for something and trying to make it. That's my learning strategy. It's not much more complicated than that. I mean, I would try to learn things like lighting techniques. I would try to learn things like how to tell a better story, but that's a tough question to answer. My phone is dying, so I'm going to solve this. I can't believe that there's still 91 people hanging out. This is fun, guys. I'm going to hang out for just a little bit. I'm going to hang out for just a little bit longer, and then I might have to pack it in for the night. This is so much fun. Do you guys care if I get some water? Am I going to lose you guys if I come over here to get a drink of water? Okay, this is ridiculous. Look at this right now. I'm powering my phone off of this V-mount battery. Guys, check this out. I got some sweet flowers for my wife for Valentine's Day. I know it seems a little cliche getting a dozen of roses on Valentine's Day, but when it's your second year of being married, you get flowers on Valentine's Day. You do it, okay? Okay, guys, I'm getting water, okay? I wish I had a beer or something tasty to crack into right now, but what's your name? Come on, man. My name's Levi. Just pouring some water. Okay, I did not try the new autofocus hack. I use shutter speeds of up to 1/200th, so apparently I've already been utilizing the hack for over a year. So, yeah. What do you think of the GH5S? It's brilliant. What Panasonic has pulled off in a Micro Four Thirds sensor hasn't been done before. So, the GH5 was already an amazing camera. To have a version of that camera that will work brilliantly in low light is a really strong option for a lot of people. If you aren't sure if you're that kind of person, then that probably answers the question for you right there. Should I buy the GH5S over the GH5? Do you have the GH5 already? I would hold on to it. If you do outdoor handheld stuff, it's brilliant for that. But I'd get a GH5S alongside that. Okay, some of those questions are a little... Yeah, could you imagine if this was moonshine? Oh, tasty water. Yeah, Janelle's really rad. She's super down to earth, and I think one of the things that I really liked about Janelle from the start is that she wasn't she's not like a fan of me, which I just thought was brilliant. She does not see me as being like some special person. She sees me as being like a human and a good friend and someone to like be a friend with, not like this like awestruck fan like relationship, which in past experiences in my life, I've always had a hard time with like, oh man, how can I say this sentence without sounding super cocky? I don't think I can pull it off. I don't know what words to use. But yes, Janelle's great. Supportive relationships are huge. Oh man, Devin, that's hilarious that you've taken me with you on your morning. Take care, man. Have a great day at work. Stout or lager? Stout, IPA or sour? IPA? Why is Pure Living for Life pretending to be homesteaders? They just went on the grid. I don't know much about the homesteading world as far as like the pretenses. Do you have to be off grid to be homestead? I actually don't know. Like, what is the actual definition of homestead? To me, like, yeah, I don't know. Have you ever filmed anything to do with motorcycles? I have not. Do you still use the Zoom H1? No, because I have wireless stuff now, but I would still use it if I didn't have wireless. Would you rather have no beard or no hair? No beard. Why do I have a beard? That was a question someone else asked. Because I look like a baby face without it. Levi, what do you see the benefit to growing your YouTube audience if you aren't planning to monetize it? So I'm building an education company. That's what I'm building. So finding the right people who ask questions, YouTube's a great place to do that. So are video monopods worth the money? Yeah, with the foot thing, those things are brilliant. No hair. Yeah. Maybe I could ask you guys a question. The tables are turned. Have you made a video in the past 2 weeks? If so, if not, how come? And if you haven't made a video in the past 2 weeks, and you want to, what are you going to do to change that in the next 2 weeks? That's my question. Off topic, I feel I have to ask, is it cold in your room? No, I'm just still wearing my jacket because I was just out having a meeting with a friend, so I'm still wearing my jacket. But no, it's not cold in here at all. Whoa, you make a video every day? Nice. Editing one right now. Yes, two. Okay, ABC, you're getting banned. I'm sorry. I just editing one right now. Making one right now. Wow, this is awesome. Dane's working on one. Last video was 2 days ago. Nice work. Thanks for. Okay, Ken. Do I say your name's Ken or is it Kenny? I am always confused when I read your username. Posting 1 to 3 times a week. Nice work. I got to make sure I follow up and check out some of your guys' channels. A monopod with 2 legs. Yeah. Homesteading is a lifestyle of self-sufficiency is characterized by subsistence, agricultural, home preservation of food, etc. Yeah, I don't see. I mean, I'm not an authority on homesteading, so my opinion doesn't really matter. I don't see an issue with people modern homesteading where they have utilities hooked up to their location. I don't see that. I never knew that was a negative thing, that you had to be off grid to homestead. I don't think that's true. But if it is true, then whoops. Right on. Glad to see you guys are working on videos. Still in the project file. Got to set due dates. You got to set due dates for yourself to get things edited. Yes. Was in a hotel in northern Spain on Tuesday and noticed the floor sloped, so made a 47-second video of it using tin of olives in the minibar. Good use of an afternoon. 1 to 2 a week. Nice work, Luke. What can you say about finding inspiration? Homesteading is starting with a blank site and building your home. Oh, yeah, that's actually that lines up mostly with probably how I thought about it. I got confused at some point if it meant you had to like have animals or not. I think, and how much of your own food you needed to grow. But Dan Mace, is Dan Mace from around this area? I've shot so much different stuff: drone shots, GH5 mobile. Oh boy, guys, we're 80 minutes and counting. I can't believe this. I made a video yesterday. Nice. Building an education platform, that's awesome. Same here. I've taught for science for 6 years. Let me know if you have any questions. Yeah, that's great. I plan to primarily offer like masterclass online courses. Basically, that's going to be the main offering that I do. This will be like a multi-$100 course. Yeah. What would you say to someone who thinks you have to edit in Premiere to be considered a pro, and real pros don't use Final Cut Pro? I wouldn't say anything to them, to be honest. If there's someone that's like that thick-skulled that they're holding an opinion like that, it's just, I mean, it's a time-old thing of like, oh, you have to be a. It's a time-old debate of basically anything versus another thing, like Ford versus Chevy, Mac versus PC, Mac versus Windows, Adobe versus Final Cut. Like, it is simply just not a true statement to say, because the people that think you have to use Premiere to be pro, yeah, well, wait till you talk to guys that edit on Avid or Resolve. They're the real pros. Come to Tokyo. I'll be your local guide. Yeah, I'd love to come to Tokyo. I just don't know if I can afford to just fly there. Give me a home task, and I'll try to finish it before Sunday, 5 a.m., and we leave. Any tips for doing voiceovers on documentaries? Get moving blankets. Put them over your head. Take the mic inside with you. Are you talking about recording them or like scripting them? What do you think about smaller drones? I'm really excited about them. I really want one. I've been trying to buy one, but there's only so many drones that a person needs. I'm excited for whatever comes after the Mavic Pro. I want a better camera on a folding drone. So if they found a way to make like a Phantom 4 Pro that folds, I'll be over the moon. Let's say you go on vacation for a week and have 7 days of footage. How long would you give yourself to edit your travel video? Are you going to use like narrate? How many videos do you make if it's, okay, part of it is how many videos do you work on in a given month or 2 months? For me, if I went on vacation for 7 days, I would try to edit what I'm going to do with it in a week. That's for me. If it's the only video I'm going to be making that month, then I would give myself 2 weeks. Yeah, reducing or removing mouth noise. Dynamic mics tend to have less mouth noise. Removing the noise is really difficult. It's your just mic technique makes a huge difference. Like when people understand how to breathe around a mic and how to not smack, those are all things that are hard to learn. I think it comes to fitting into a workflow. Depends on the collaborations or production houses you're working with, whether you need to know Final Cut Pro. Yeah, definitely. I agree. Oh, also, have you ever thought of hosting some type of video competition and then reviewing some of your favorite entries? That'd be interesting. I haven't thought of doing that. I might not do it soon, but maybe I will in the future. Whew. Yeah, a folding Phantom 4 Pro with a half-inch sensor would be brilliant. I don't have a favorite external audio recorder right now. What's that brand that makes amazing ones? Audio devices? Sound devices? What's it called? I can't for the life of me remember right now. They make amazing mixers, recorders. Have Canada's drone laws impacted you at all? Yeah. I basically just had to avoid doing any, like, because there's all these limits now with aerodomes. So I basically haven't been doing any drone flying locally anymore, which is too bad. How upset is your country about the U.S. woman winning last night? I don't know how upset they are because I don't walk around asking people and I don't have news, so I don't know how upset our country is. No one's mentioned it to me in person yet, so that's how upset they are. I don't know when or if I'll try to walk the line again. Oh, how do you say, is that Aiko and Emil? And Emil? Aiko and Emil. I don't know how to pronounce that. Recently found your channel. It's awesome. Thank you. How is your van holding up? Was it a DHL van before? I think it was. It was technically licensed through a company called Loomis Express, and I think that was a DHL licensed company. How is it holding up? Yeah, it's holding up. It's working great. Occasionally I do a repair on it, and then it keeps going. Lab mics or shotgun for shooting vlogs? Just an on-camera shotgun mic is the most practical. Is it possible to actually sell anything on a stock video footage website? I've thrown 25 clips on a few sites, but nothing ever sells. Yeah. Yeah, that's tough. I've never sold stock footage on a website, only when people reach out to me and go, can we license this footage? Oh, awesome. That's great. Aiko and Emil are from Japan. Sweet. Loomis? Yeah, Loomis Express. It's a division of Transforce companies here in, I think they're a Canadian company. They're like a big transport company here. Dark Horse, really appreciate your channel. Thank you. No problem. Best meal in the past week? I had honey chicken and rice. That was really good. Do you recommend Sprinter Van? Been looking in creating a portable studio for a while. Yeah, it really all comes down to your budget, essentially. For me, I could only afford a used vehicle, and I wanted a vehicle that had a high roof. And the only vehicle that was used with a high roof was the Sprinter Van. So that's what I bought. There's other types of vans that people put fiberglass roofs on, but I avoided those. Hey, dude, what is your goal in life? To live long and prosper. My goal is too much to... How do you know how much to license your footage for? Kind of depends on the use case and that kind of thing. I've done most individual clip licenses from anywhere between $300 to $500 per clip to up to $1,000. Try saying, oh my word, how would I say that? That's like a different, that's a... Hej Levi har hoppas du far en bra dag. Bra dag. I don't know. Whatever that was. Did you just make me cuss a lot? Someone's watching this live stream in a physics class. That's hilarious. Oh. How do you feel about Peter McKinnon's work and also the channel Travel feels they're big players in this sort of space? They're both often pretentious and annoying. Hey now, come on, they're not pretentious and annoying. How do I feel about them? My immediate feelings was just being blown away with how quickly and how I ran into Peter when he was at around 300,000 subscribers. And I was just so blown away with how intentional he was with the types of content that he was making. And it just made sense. I was like, well, no duh, he's growing so fast. He's making stuff that people are interested in. So I respect how he's done that. I think he's a really positive impact on the YouTube community as a whole, being someone who's primarily positive, not negative, doesn't tear people down, doesn't cause drama, and is really focused on just making cool things. So I'm really stoked that guys like Peter proved to me that YouTube is willing to watch high quality content like that. Definitely proved me wrong. I didn't think that people cared, but clearly they do. Yeah, so I respect it's hard sometimes not to feel like I'm failing when I'm not growing as fast as those guys. But I just have to understand, like, growth is not the metric that I care about most. So I just need to remind myself of that. Because people often, like, people mean well when they say, oh, I wish you had more subscribers, or you should have more views, or I wish you were as big as the other YouTubers. They mean well when they say things like that, and they mean it as a compliment. But it makes you think like, oh, should I not be happy with where I'm currently at? But the truth is, I'm thrilled where I'm currently at. So the instinct when I see a channel that explodes over 1 million subscribers in a year is like, oh dang, am I doing it so wrong that I haven't experienced the same in over 3 years? Like, oh gosh, like I'm a failure. But that's not the truth, and that's not what I think. And yes, I could be doing YouTube better, but it's okay. Okay, take care, Jihosh. Great having you around. Who is my favorite YouTubers? I've really been enjoying Samir and Colin lately. Elle Mills, I think, is amazing. Her videos are fabulous. I every time she uploads, I'm so quick to watch her videos. I really like watching Jimmy DiResta. There's SV Seeker, which is a channel of a guy building a boat down in the States out of steel. Really enjoy watching his videos. Get Patronite. It's a good way to get independent on YouTube. Yeah, Patreon. No. So CWP is saying Peter McKinnon is only big through Casey Neistat. Nope. I completely disagree. Yes, having another YouTuber that's big share you in their video will help gain more people, but Peter had his own distinct voice and style in a way that people he did it with enough of his own flavor to be truly unique. And yes, his growth was expedited by Casey, but there is, yeah, sorry, that is, I just have to stop you there. That's just not a correct thing to say. It's not true. So, for instance, like if I keep doing YouTube for another year or two, and maybe I run into Casey one time and he includes me in one of his videos, and maybe that sparks a massive increase, is it going to be fair to say then that Casey made me? Well, it just wouldn't be true. Maybe Casey put fire on the fire that was already there, but that's just not a fair thing to say. Sorry, I'll have to stop you on that one. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, just to clarify, so Daniel says, in my humble opinion, you're doing just fine on YouTube. Yeah, I'm thrilled. Like, this is so much fun. I'm loving this. I've got no complaints. So, it's just easy when you like see someone else have so much exponential growth to make it feel like you're doing something wrong. But that in no way means I'm not really stoked. Like, to think that like 2 years ago it was just like 1,000 people, a couple thousand people, something like that, and now there's close to 50,000. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to pack it in here soon. I know I've now said that 3 times. Finding style is hard. It's easy to emulate Casey or Peter, harder to find your own. Yep. If you had the 90 people all do one thing, what is that? Can you restate that question? The 90 people all do one thing, what would it be? Thanks for sharing your story and being a positive light on here. Peace. Peace. Sorry, Jeremy, I still don't understand your question. If you had the 90 people all do one thing, what would it be? So Titan Top List is talking about channel growth comes down to comments and the amount of comments a video receives. I had a viral video that tapered off with 6K views a day. I accidentally turned off the comments on it, which killed it. Yeah, I'm not convinced that comments alone are what drive immediate growth, but I would understand that turning comments off would stunt its growth from going further for sure. There's so many factors that go into a video exploding, but one of the biggest factors aside from the algorithm is creating a thumbnail and a title and a concept around the video that is interesting. And that's one thing that I've failed to do a lot in the past year. The way I would put it is I made videos that were documenting events that were happening, but I should have been making pieces of content that on their own were intriguing and interesting. Woo! Thanks for the stream. Enjoyed it. Come to Japan. I'll buy you beer. Like I said, I have a spare room. Thanks. What would you want? all the live Q&A'ers watchers to do? Oh, that's a great thing. What would I want them all to do? I actually don't know. Maybe I don't know. I'm sorry. That's too on the spot. Like if we could coordinate a dance, that would be amazing. Think about the power. Subscribe and make more stuff. Okay. This video will probably be unlisted, so this probably won't stay obviously just public on the channel just because it's a little rambly, but okay, that's gonna be it for this one. Thanks for hanging out. I had a lot of fun. I'll maybe try to, I never knew if I should do more like these on a schedule. That's the tough thing. It's like, oh, at this time every day, or if I just like go live when I want to. I think I might just continue to go live when I want to because, okay, peace. Thanks, guys. Oh, just one last thing here from Titan Top List. Yeah, there are multiple aspects to a successful video, but I find the comments are what keeps the video views coming. If I turn off the comments, the video gets 15 views a day now. Yeah, that's a great point. Am I late? Yeah, you're a little late. Sorry, we're just signing off here. If you ask one question, I'll answer it. How about that? Mingus Lifecast. What brand is my jacket? It's a Carhartt. Finish with the tagline. I'll finish with the tagline. It'll be big. I'm wearing the Life's Better When You Make Stuff hoodie that never got made. Come on, Mingus Lifecast. I'm waiting for you, man. You got to ask a question so that way I can sign off this live stream. Come on. Oh, so sorry that you missed it. I'm sorry. Why is this going on at 3 a.m.? Why are you on at 3 a.m.? It's 12 o'clock right now. Okay, guys. When are you coming to Italy? That's your question. I don't know. If you want to pay for me to come to Italy, I'll go to Italy. Okay. It's been fun, guys, hanging out. I'll catch you in the next live stream. And remember, life's better when you make stuff.